Hi, I am zippy today. I am so excited to make this video. Whew, so a lot going on. This is going to be chock full of a lot of stuff. I'm going to try and condense it and make more videos if I can. If not, bear with me, but listen to all of it because I'm hitting on so many different things. Okay, so the first thing, um, a few weeks ago, Marley went back to Puyallup. My dog is in Puyallup, which it was needed for all. She needed to get back to her house. She loves her house. And John is helping her up and downstairs for sleeping. And just seeing the videos and pictures with her and her cat Opie, it's like my heart is full seeing how they have each other all the time. It's like homeward bound. It's a movie. So Marley's happy. And so I'm back here. And then it hit me that I didn't have a dog. And for those of you who know me, that's been huge. So I'm not rehashing any of the old stuff. So I decided, I don't even know what day it was. I was going to do it, packed up my car, just the bare essentials for basically hiking, my little day pack, hiking stuff, little bit of food, just nothing special. And I just loaded the car, checked the oil, and boom, started driving. And I was thinking, I'm going to Bend, Oregon. And as the car was heading towards I-5 from the coast, it was like bend to bend. And it was like a bend everywhere north. It's like the only obvious answer was I had to turn right on the freeway because I've never been south of Corvallis or wherever that city is. I've never even seen Eugene. Like, not that I want to, but I've never seen it. So that was decided. And so I headed south, and then Reno came to me. And I'm like, cool, I haven't seen Reno since I was a kid. And so the road would take me crossover somewhere. And then as I was approaching the exit for that, all the reader boards were saying, that road, there will be delays, there's fires, there's smoke. Oh, and it was really smoky this day too. I forgot about that. It was quite smoky leaving the coast. And it was hot, 95 degrees. Oh my God. And all I do is have the windows down. The thought of air conditioning would not cross my mind. It's like, why would I do that? It's like, I love the air and I just put my hair up and I don't really care. So I'm driving south on I-5. And then the next thing is like, I just want to get out of Oregon. And I don't know what it was. So these were these little things coming to me as I'm going. And so then coming up ahead, and I don't think I didn't stop at all. Coming up ahead, one of the towns was Weed, California. I'm like, that's where I'm going tonight. I'm like, Weed, just the thought that I was going to spend the night in Weed. And it sounded like a tourist attraction that maybe I'd heard of, but I did not know. I didn't know what to expect. But anyway, I was tired. I was ready to get out of the car, and it was the next town. So I got off and I drove through, and there was a Motel 6. There was like 3 motels. It was Weed. It looks like it's been sleepy for a long time. And they didn't have like a they had a pizza. Basically, I went and got a chicken finger from the grocery store, and I got a room at the Motel 6, which was interesting. I mean, I have no fear whatsoever. So it's like nothing can bother me. But for anybody who had fears, they would not stay in this motel. I mean, yeah, they wouldn't, but it doesn't bother me. It's like, what can happen? Hello. So then that early in the morning, my clock was already getting screwed up. I opened my computer. I went to Facebook to one post, and a friend of mine, Terry, said something about go to Mount Shasta. You'll love it there, something like that. So I'm like, thanks. That was like, that's it. Close the computer, put it away. And so I looked down the road, 9 miles. 9 miles to this place that my friend recommended. So anyway, I packed up early and I headed down the road to Mount Shasta, and oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, I was guided to drive, and I did. And I went to Weed, which I did later go back. And I'm like, I'm going back to Weed, and I'm getting souvenirs because damn it, I stayed in that town. And I'm so glad I did. So I drive to Mount Shasta. And as soon as I hit that town, it hit me that my friend Barbara will know this, and my sister Lynn, it's like, It's like going to Mount Charleston when you're a kid. You know, you leave the desert, you leave the heat, and you're in the mountains. You're in the mountains, but you're not high in the mountains. You're just where you're in the mountains, and it's not, and you're in the trees. There's just something about it. There's pine trees and there's pine cones, actual, not like fir cones, but pine cones. And that's what I felt in this place. I felt like I was home. And I was in Mount Charleston, the place that I loved going. God, I didn't know this hurt me so much. Not hurt me, it's hitting me. It was magical. And so I found the perfect place. This guy, it's like, you can't get early check-in at anything. And I got to this place and this guy was like, he goes, basically go away, come back in an hour and you can go in your room at 10 o'clock in the morning. They don't let you do that. And so I did. And this place was just magical. I had just redwoods outside of my room. And you just open the windows and you could open your windows because it was just to the woods behind you. It was magical. And so I knew, that's all I knew. And I saw the mountain coming in and I just could not believe how incredible this place made me feel. And it was like, I already knew. It's like, I guess I'm gonna book another night. It was like, I knew where I needed to go. And if you've seen gas prices lately, you know that you really don't want to do a road trip with no destination, because you can spend a lot of cash paying for, yeah, good thing I have a small car. So I just saw the mountain and I, got my provisions, got everything handled. I unpacked, I did what I needed to, and I put on my backpack. I filled my bladder with water, not that one, the one in my backpack. And I drove to the mountain. And oh, I forgot I had a sidekick on my trip. Boy, this is going to go long. I didn't want to go too long. When I was working for Mix 96.1 and I was do the wrapping up the holidays and the Little Red Schoolhouse, the fundraisers, I became the closer. I did the afternoon shift, but I was a closer because I was the one with the horrible childhood stories that everybody could relate to, that would like get the tears flowing and, oh, that poor child. The stories were the same. I repeated them all the time, but they were authentic, And I talked about how my sisters and I, we were poor. We were piss poor. And my sister Lynn got everything as the oldest, and then Donna got it, and then I got it. And so I got like the Barbies, everything I got hand-me-downs. I got the Ken with the burned toes from the light bulb, the Barbies with their hair cut off. But so this man who always was a great sponsor during the holidays, and he always brought a big wad of cash or tons of bikes for kids, all kinds of stuff. One year for 2020 was on its way, and we were doing this fundraiser at Christmas time. And he brought $2,020, 2020, and he brought me Millennial Barbie. And she's been in her case untouched. Yeah, she's damaged good. She's out of her case. He brought me this in the case, and it was Millennial Barbie. And he said, do not give this to anyone. This is for you. And it was because I never had anything of my own like that. Gestures like that go a long way, That man, every time I asked him, showed up with so much for the kids. And then the year he brought me that, and 2020 dollars, 2020, I had a feeling it was the last time I was going to see him. And I asked for years after that, and he never came back. So anyway, she went on this trip with me as a sidekick. And so there's all the pictures with her in the pictures, like on the mountain in the backpack. And it was just fun. It was fun. It was twisted, got glitter all over my face. It was like, I'm dealing with this princess, and I don't do princesses. All right, regrouping. So anyway, I go to Shasta and I go to the mountain and I can't get off of it. I hike. I'm just so drawn to this place and it just feels magical. And then after I realized this, and I start hearing and I start talking to a lot of people, I was just drawn to people. I was talking to people like crazy. Man, the people I was connected to. And every single person was like, they started telling me stories about this mountain, and like the story about this one woman, she was there, her friend was guiding her around, and they went to the same space where I was at this time. And she stopped, and the bees, they come up to you and they just kind of move around you. They don't swarm you, but they don't bother you. They're just reading your vibration. It's like they feel you and then they go away. And then I heard another story about butterflies, and I had a few crickets and other things, and the birds come close to me, but it was just something about it. I can't describe it. It was life altering. That's what comes to me. It was life altering. All this stuff to me is life altering. So I just loved it. I ended up just, so long story short, I ended up staying one night in Weed, 3 nights there. And it was just like, it was magical. It was perfect. And it was like time to go home. And plus my hips were really starting to hurt like crazy. My back, my hips, because I haven't done mountains in a long time. And I just wanted to be out on the hill. It was calling me. Oh. So anyway, I just knew it was time. And so I drove back to Newport. I was able to stop at Costco, and the weather was perfect. It was cool. It was cloudy. It was perfect to drive back because it was so hot coming. And then I, head back to the coast. And then I spent that day, and then I had a wonderful night. Then the next day it was like just kind of unpacking and regrouping and regathering, and I was so present, and I was seeing the ocean. I had to get to the ocean. I got to the ocean a lot, got to the lighthouse. Walking still too much, but I did have to dial it way back. And then last night was magical. I took my zero gravity chair out in my backyard, and I was just looking at the stars. I like drove around down the highway looking for a place to go look at the stars where there would be no light or cars. And it was like, there's nothing. So I thought, I'll go try my backyard. And so I put my hoodie on so I didn't see the lights over there. I just want to be connected, so much to nature. I just want to be outside. I want to just live in a dome. I don't care. But then I went to bed, and then I woke up this morning, and it hit me that all the stuff that unfolded at Mount Shasta, realizing that it had these magical powers, and realizing that when I went to Sedona, I was drawn to Sedona because my friend Latal talked about it all the time. And I'm like, what is it? And then she went there again with Tenagny, and then they had this magical experience. And so I'm like, I'm going to Sedona. I was drawn there. I heard about this vibration, the vortexes. And so I went there with intention to stand there and beg for clarity, like, give me clarity, God, whatever. And my life completely changed that week. Everything in my life shifted that week. And now I go to Mount Shasta, and my card takes me there. I cried this out. I thought, I don't want to keep crying. My card takes me to Mount Shasta. And I get there, and I feel the magic of this place. And it like checks every box of magic. But it's like, while I'm there, I find out that it is not only like this vortex energy magical thing. Out of 7 places on this planet, I was in the root chakra of Gaia. It was like, how did I find this place? How did this place find me? But it did. Yeah, I found it, and it found me, and it changed me. Yeah, there's so much going on. I'm going to make this video stop now because there's so much that has happened since this. So much to unpack. And I'm going to compose. I want to compose so I can come back and share some of the crazy stuff that's been going on. Yeah. So I'm going to compose, and this one will be as long as it is. I was going to say short, but apparently it's not. But stay tuned. So much is to come.